How's this? How is this? Can you hear me now? You should be able to hear me now. How about that? Little green lights are moving. Yay. Finally, somebody gets over technical difficulties, but I appreciate that you guys told me that there was no sound because I'm actually reading those comments. So, 1 year in a couple days, I've been on YouTube. My wife got really mad at me the other day, and we'll talk about that at the end. And for members, all those spreadsheets are still up, and we'll talk about that at the end also, and cover any of the comments at the end of the video, and we'll get to it. So let's go ahead and take a look at where NEOS finished up, where they're headed for the month, and we'll look at the charts and give you all that information. Let's go ahead and there you go. So this is where they finished up. They finished up on SPY past the first strike. QQQI past the first strike. IWMI not past any of their strikes. BTCI past their first. IYRI not past any of their strikes. And on the gold fund, they ended up out of the money on all their strikes, and that is exactly what you actually want to see, is them to be just out, but you also want to capture that upside. So this was last month's numbers, so you can see how much each one of those strikes were for last month. Going into this month, we're going to go this month. This is August. All their calls were at least 2% out of the money for the very first strike. And of course, Bitcoin was right around that 8%. And I'm tracking this month by month, so we can judge these every month, how much out of the money they are and how things are moving. But we're going to go ahead and move on from that because you want to know how much each strike is worth. They're all worth a little less this month than they were last month. All but, I want to say, SPY H. Is it SPY H? Yes, SPY H. SPY H is worth a little bit more this time on their strike than last month, but all the rest of their strikes are worth a little bit less this month than last month. And that's pretty good. I'm just going to continue on with the slides, and then we're going to bring up the live screens as we go. I don't talk about SPY H very often, but hey, this is SPY H, where they are. The purple box or the blue box is where they have protection. So when it crosses into the blue box, you're going to see that your NAV or the price of SPY H doesn't go down as fast because you have that protection. But if you go out of the bottom of the box, that's when you lose that protection. But in the box, you have protection, and you can see where they write their strike. It's actually slightly higher than, let's say, SPY for their first strike, but lower than their second strike. This is the NASDAQ. This is QQQH. Used to be NUSI and where they used to be. So you can see where they are, right? So you can actually tell that, hey, they finished just about right on that strike for QQQH. But again, it wasn't written on the complete portfolio, but you have that protection if it goes into the box. I think I scanned in. So they finished right at that strike last month for QQQH. And I think I have one more slide, a couple more. So I'm going to compare SPY compared to SPY H year to date, or from April 4th when they actually started it. And you can see that they lag a little bit. I personally do not use SPY H. I use SPY. But then again, these funds are made for maybe somebody that wants risk of SPY and equities, but they don't want all the risk. So they want to hedge that a little bit, and they're willing to give up some of the income to get that hedge. Same thing for QQQH. If I look at 1 year, year to date, you can tell it's just behind QQQI on total returns, but it's going to give you less in that month. But if you look at that April time period, it did not go down as far as QQQI. So that gives you that confidence that, hey, if you're a little bit older, a little more risk adverse and don't want that risk, maybe you want to get into the QQQH. And lastly, I want to talk about GIAX because I posted this on X today. They finished out of the money on all their call spreads. So that means they actually earned that 0.5% for the year in 1 week. We're going to remove that. We're going to look at me for a second, and we're going to add this chart. I'm going to stay down here in the bottom corner. This is actually where the calls are for our favorite fund, SPY. You can tell where we are in relevance to the calls, and you can see they went down right in their calls and back up, and we finished right in the middle, just like the very first slide that I have it in Google Docs. But this is graphically where they are. We move on to QQQI. This is time delayed, but you can tell that QQQI were well below that first strike. We have plenty of room to move up this month. And then once we get through both strikes, hey, we get capped. We did that back here in June. In July, we finished in the middle. And you can tell in April, we finished right there at the first strike. Tracking these every month for us. So if I look at the Russell finished right out of the money. But you can see by them, Russell having that pullback, they didn't write the strikes so far out of the money this time. We'll see how the Russell goes. It's still paying right around that 14%. So we'll see how that makes out for us. Now, I have the REIT fund. If you're going to play REITs, I think this is the best way of doing it. I mean, 11% thereabouts on REITs. And we're going to track this over the months. You can see where their calls were. You can see how they wrote those calls. Sometimes we get them past the first strike. Sometimes we pass it. You know, here last month, we went all the way up to the second strike. We touched it, but we finished below it. So, hey, they earned all those premiums and they get to roll it. And that really kind of helps us out by not being in the money. Because remember, these guys at NEOS writes them 7 weeks out and rolls them 3 weeks out. So you get the full month, 4 weeks thereabouts, before they roll them. And we don't like to roll calls when they're in the money. That's a little bit of call drag, but hey, they do a really good job. If I move on to the gold fund, we are right past their first strike right now. But hey, look, their gold fund has been back and forth. It's still paying that 12%. I keep on averaging in. Anytime I see a red day, I'll go buy 2 or 3 shares, averaging in over time. Just trying to keep my cost basis down. So when we do hit that big run and it runs up, hey, I'll be good to go. So we'll see how that one plays out for us. On Bitcoin, oh, wow. I can't even see the calls on the chart. Hopefully Bitcoin takes a big run because we have lots of room to go up for the month. And these are actually drawn out. So that's actually the end of August where they are, because the next day is September and they will be rolling those calls. So you can see how much room we have on those calls. Let's quickly look at some of these other individual stocks. I keep on saying, I keep on telling you Bitcoin, I don't add above here, and I'm glad I didn't. I mean, we get above that 10,000 line. I'm kind of waiting for that dip to happen again, and I will buy Biddy, B-I-T-Y, and increase my portion on Biddy and BTCI. But I'm waiting for a little more pullback, as I really think that we will see something back below 110, but I also think that we'll see 130, 150 this year. So we'll see how this all plays out. Remember, 28% for BTCI and 24% for BIDI, not writing on 100% of the portfolio. And let's quickly look through GIAX. Hey, there's my no more buy limit. There's my average price. My average price comes down every single month. Same thing for BTCI. BTCI. SPY. I'm above my cost basis. Of course, Palantir, individual stocks. I got that little Brad's portfolio of individual stocks, and I have Palantir in there. I actually have the one by Yield Max, but I also have the one by Roundhill that's not capped. We'll see how that one plays out for us. And I wanted to bring up this NVIDIA one. So NVII, ever since it really came out, this looks like it continues to go up and up. Hey, we got some pullbacks, and pullbacks happen, but that's just fine. We will see how pullbacks happen, and maybe that's when you buy a little bit more. So that is everything I have to say about the NEOS calls. So let's talk about Brad and Brad's life and get to some of the comments that's out here. And we'll get to that in a second. Let's bring Brad back up full screen so you can see me. And I can go to style. I'm getting better at this, everybody. There you go. There I am, full screen. So let's talk about Brad and Brad's life. So Brad's mom turned 90 on Saturday, but she lives 3 hours away. So we drive up on Saturday. My wife gets a little grumpy riding around in the car. I hope she doesn't hear this, but she does. She gets grumpy. So it's 3 hours there, 3 hours back. We get back on Saturday night, and I go on Twitter and I do some tweets here and there. She gets mad at me. The next day, it just does not turn out good. And that shoe, whoa, wow, she missed twice. Good thing she doesn't have good aim. And she said, no more YouTube. You spend too much time on social media. But then she saw all the comments from all the fans out there. And she said, you know what? I think you can go do YouTube. But I was doing YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. So a lot less Twitter, a lot more comments for the members, and no more Facebook. Facebook, I just got rid of that group. For the members, or ex-members, because I gave back all the money, canceled all that. For memberships, you will have a new site for members, and I'll spend the time answering your questions for members on that site with our own community that's for members only, and it'll be a whole lot easier to do that. And I'll also do more member videos posted straight to that actual platform, and I'll have that done by the end of the week. Hopefully, we'll see how that works out for me, but I started it. We're going to work on it. We'll have our own chat community, and we'll have live videos straight there. And I just like doing live videos because it's a whole lot easier than actually sitting there making a video and editing it, because it's just as easy. I do have a conference call today. I'm going to go ahead and leak this. I have a conference call today with the marketing team of Curve, and we'll see how that works out for us. So let's go back, and I'm going to quickly look at some of these questions. We love Brad. Oh, shut up. Hey, me. I love myself too. Well, my wife did not love me on Sunday. Saturday was good. Sunday, she was not a happy camper. And let's see here. Glad I'm back. Yes, I'm glad I'm back also. There's John. Hey, John. John is fully retired. And love NEOS. Who does not love NEOS? I mean, yes, we all love NEOS. I think it's always good to spread the wealth a little bit, because NEOS does good and GPIX does good because they're actually capturing the implied volatility every week on a small portion. They don't pay as much, but they're going to actually capture more upside possibility. So it helps you out on that NAV. And that's where we get into generations of funds because it used to be JEPI and JEPQ. Personal opinion, until they fix JEPI and JEPQ, you're better off splitting your money between SPY-I and GPIX if you're going to play the S&P 500 or QQQI and GPIQ. Just personal opinion. None of this is financial advice or any other advice. I need to put that little disclaimer in there. But no, none of this is financial advice. But you can also do QDevo or KQQQ. The difference is they're going to pay you between 8 and 14%, depending on the market. Or they're going to overwrite more calls, underwrite calls, but they're targeting that 8 to 14%. But they are going to do capital appreciation also. Let's get through here. Does anything else? Oh, this one. We need a nice talk on STRC. So, posted that video. Told you all the rest of them not interested. And Michael Saylor comes out and says the exact same thing. Some people said I was talking FUD. Said I needed to go talk to Punt Jeff or Jeff Punt, whatever his name is from True North. Well, he was on there. He did not have anything to say that I didn't already know. Now, the other girl, Lynn, asked about this, asked about that risk, and I was completely told that there is no risk. And Michael Saylor himself tells you on that what the risks are. Oh, man, wait a second. So everybody else is pimping that there's no risk. And Michael Saylor says, well, you know, interesting that he agrees with Brad. But STRC, I told you I was going to buy it. I bought it. And it is probably one of the better moves of my life. Not really, but it's a good move. It's going to pay you that 9%, and it's going to get there eventually. I think it was at 96 yesterday. I got in at 91.13. Other people I talked to last night got in at $90. So we're going to see that capital appreciation, but I think that's a good place to hold your cash. I really think that if you got in and you heard Brad going, I don't like the rest of it, but like Michael Saylor said, each one of those funds are for a particular actual investor. I think STRC is good to hold your cash in. Won't hold all my cash there, but I'm holding a majority of my cash there. All right. So members will be this week. It's going to be totally, I was going to use different services, but I'm going to make my own website, own it myself. We're going to have our own community, and I'll be spending all my time there answering those questions instead of going out and answering all the questions on YouTube or all the questions on Facebook. I'm just going to focus on answering the questions of the members, right? I'll still answer questions on YouTube, but I'm just not going to spend a whole lot of time because most of those questions are probably, I mean, there was a comment today about AIPI. Why are you going to invest in something that's going to get capped? And that was from a video 8 months ago. It's just like, you don't understand. I'm not going to waste my time. Hey, I didn't catch the refund. You refunded my payment yesterday. Yes. So all members got refunded. So it's all per the policy. And if you were using coffee, that all got refunded. I'm going to go to my own personal place so we can have everything in one spot. And yes, so all the members got refunded. Not keeping anybody's money. That's all good there. And hopefully the members follow me to their own. And we're going to have our own private chats. I'm going to be able to do live videos. And if you want coaching sessions, I'll be able to do them right there for you. you can actually, it's a whole lot easier. Before, to do a coaching session, I was having to, you email me, I email you back. There, we're going to be able to have your own calendar. You pick the time and date because it's already available. And you don't have to even ask me. You just say, I want to meet with Brad this day, and click, and it's a done deal. All right. Yeah, don't worry about, I had to put something for Facebook, I mean, or for YouTube for members. I jacked the price up. I don't know how to even get rid of it. So don't buy it because it doesn't give you anything. We're going to go to our own site. All right, perfect. Can't wait. I hate Facebook so much. Good thing, not good for financial forums. Nix to Facebook completely. Yes. 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 And I recognize the icon. He was in the Facebook group. Yes. Facebook is tough. It's not very good. I think going to our own private site, we can actually have something similar to a Facebook or similar to Slacks, actually, and actually have videos posted up there that you can click on as we walk through everything. So there you go. And Tom, he's somebody that's been around for a while, watching the channel. So, hey, that's the end of the video. I have nothing else to talk about for NEOS. Hopefully you can go back and watch the NEOS where they're at. And for members, by the end of the week, we will have a new site, and I will actually probably pretty much own it. And that's where I'll be spending my time. I'll do some X posts, and I'll just continue to do YouTube videos for everybody. But the beauty of it is the ones that are on for the members on the member site will not have any videos, or what do you call those, ads? No ads. And I'll be able to do this type of format there for the large group. I'll be able to hold group meetings and everything else. So, hey, until next time. Oh, by the way, it's a beautiful day outside for the beach. So until next time, God bless.